It's Chris Smith time. Oh, hello, everybody. It's me, Chris Smith. And today is the beginning of the annual season we all look forward to, the tops and bottoms list of the movies of the previous years. But we always start with the bottom movies. So, let's start. This year we have the Dirty Dozen, because there's 12 of them. It starts with X, the movie from Ty West. Now, theoretically, this isn't a bad movie. It's about a group of people in the 70s who stop in Texas and rent a little guest house or whatever on this farm to make a porno movie. But this old lady starts killing the people one by one. There's even an alligator involved in one of the murders. Now, it's a clever movie, and it's not that the movie is so bad, and the follow-up, which was a prequel called Pearl, is much better and is set back in the day with the old lady played by, as her younger self, and she's played by the same girl who does the pornos in the 70s, in X. But X was so icky that I went home and I immediately took a shower, and it wasn't a cold shower either. I had to wash the grime of X and that Texas chainsaw nightmare out of my head. Blah. Okay, at number 11 is another movie that technically isn't a bad movie and is even nominated for Best Picture, which I still don't understand, and that is Top Gun Maverick, the long-awaited sequel to Top Gun. Why, it's a sequel we didn't even know we needed, and really didn't need. It's my winner for the most overrated movie of the year. And even though Steven Spielberg thinks that it saved the movie box office, and theatrical releases, and maybe it did, so that we didn't just end up in a world of streaming movies. To me, there was just no point in Tom Cruise's Top Gun Maverick. I didn't care. I thought it was boring. I thought it was loud. Overrated. But the people seem to love it, so good for them. Okay. At number 10 is Don't Worry, Darling. This was my most disappointed movie because I was really looking forward to seeing it, and it took me a while to finally see it on streaming. And it stars Harry Styles and Florence Pugh and Olivia Wilde and Chris Pine, and they're at this community of tomorrow, and I don't even know what happened in that movie. The housewives are at home living perfect lives and keeping perfect homes, and the husbands go away to some sort of secret job. It was sort of a Stepford Wives nightmare type thing, but it was just a nightmare. I was very disappointed, I must say. Now, at number 9, again, a disappointment. It's Jurassic World Dominion. Now, this one brings the old Jurassic Park gang with the new Jurassic Park gang. So we had, Sam Neill and Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum, and we had the new kids too. And I'm sorry, but this movie, there was just something not good about it. It just tried to do too much. This came out in the summer. I mean, it was action packed. You had those velociraptors chasing motorcycles and running around Italy or someplace. I don't know. I just did not like it. It's time for this series to become extinct. Now, at number 8, Blackie, is the reboot of Firestarter, the classic Stephen King story about the little girl who could start fires with her mind. They made the movie back in the day with Drew Barrymore. And this one was from Blumhouse. I don't know who plays the little girl because I didn't bother looking it up. But the father was played by Zac Efron. It was not very good. I'm sorry. I wanted to like it. I really did. Okay. At number 7, this one is Blonde. It's about Marilyn Monroe, and you can see it on Netflix. Anna de Armas is playing Marilyn Monroe, and she's nominated for Best Actress. It says, watched by all, seen by none. If only I hadn't seen Blonde. It is the most pretentious movie of the year, I must say. And I just didn't like Marilyn or care about her at all. At number 6, we have Mac and Rita. This is it's sort of like Big. The young woman becomes an old woman and wakes up as Diane Keaton after getting in a magical tanning bed. Huh? Oh, it was just not good. And then she started wearing big belts and weird outfits just because she was Diane Keaton, who dresses strange like that. Yes, it's not that Mac and Rita didn't have its charms, because it had a pretty good cast, but it was just so ridiculous. I'm sorry, Diane Keaton. Now, at number 5 is Amsterdam. This was the movie from the director of American Hustle and Silver Linings Playbook, David O. Russell. And Christian Bale stars in it. It had a very good cast. I don't even know what it was about, but it did have one wonderful thing going for it. Taylor Swift is in it, and she gets run over by a truck. Ha! Somebody pushed her in front of it. Her character, not actually Taylor Swift. So if you've ever wanted to see that happen in a movie, you can in Amsterdam. Sorry, Jeanette, my sister loves Taylor Swift. Okay, now the top 4. We're getting closer, Blackie. Blackie Humphrey's over here. Okay, this Peacock movie, They Them, starred Kevin Bacon as a man who's running a conversion camp for LGBTQ plus youth. And, they're trying to turn these kids straight. And there's a homicidal killer on the loose. But the problem with this movie is the killer's not killing anybody you care about, so there's really no threat to any of the main characters. I didn't think. Fear doesn't discriminate. I created a better version of this movie years ago called Don't Axe, Don't Yell, about a conversion camp. So it's not that I'm bitter, this just was not very good, I'm sorry. Now, at number 3 is Roland Emmerich's disaster movie, Moonfall. This is the one where the moon is said to have been some sort of structure that's hollow and has something living in it, and it gets off its gravitational pull or whatever, and starts causing all sorts of disasters on the earth. Oh, the problem with these Roland Emmerich movies now, they were good back in the day with Day After Tomorrow and 2012 and stuff like that, but now The whole world is a disaster movie. Just watch the news. There's nothing more terrifying than the news. And these old-fashioned movies like this, I'm sorry, they are not doing it anymore. Ugh, Moonfall. Oh, I can't tell you how much I hated it. In 2022, humanity will face the dark side of the moon. Oh, or you'll face it if you watch this movie. Okay, at number 2, this was my number 1 worst movie for a while. Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson in Marry Me. It gets my award for most ridiculous, over-the-top premise. This singer, this superstar, played by Jennifer Lopez, is giving a concert, and she's supposed to marry this guy. Kat and Bastion are the people, and she's supposed to marry him. And then he cheats on her, and they don't get married. And this guy, Owen Wilson, is in the audience of this concert. He took his daughter or something, and somebody hands him a sign just to hold while he goes to the bathroom, and it says "Marry Me." She looks out into the crowd and says, "Okay," and they get married. And he's like a school teacher. They have nothing in common. Oh, it sounds better than what it was. I just couldn't stand it. But then I saw a movie that was the absolute worst thing that I've seen of the year, and people told me not to see it. And it is called Men. That's the movie, you may have seen the trailer, where this woman's husband jumps off the building and he's falling, and she's inside the apartment, and they're looking at each other while he's falling. Well, she goes away to the English countryside or something to think about it. And she's menaced by all these different men. There's like a naked man and like a condescending priest that talks down, that's like blaming her for her husband's death, and a weirdo landlord that tells her not to flush her stuff down the toilet. I don't know. It was saying something about how men treat women, and the men were all played by the same actor, but he was sort of computer generated. There were some creepy moments, like there's this naked man that follows her around and peeks in through the windows, but you've got to see the ending of this movie. It is disgusting. I won't tell you what happens, but let's just say it involves a bunch of grown men giving birth to other grown men, and then they yuck. Oh man, the worst movie of 2022, in my opinion. Somebody probably loves these movies, and bravo if you do. Okay, and that, my friends, is the Dirty Dozen of the bottom movies of 2022. These movies are going straight to hell. Okay, Blackie Humphrey, do you want to say goodbye to the people? Goodbye, everybody. We'll be doing our top movies very soon. Goodbye, everybody. Mwah.